Please stay there.
Because Sunday sees the 15th and final round in the 1980 Journal Autocross Championship. This branch of motorsport has really roared away in popularity both with competitors and spectators. And even though the overall season's champion and 3 of the classes have already been decided, this weekend's event should be a worthy climax to another successful season. To discover more about the appeal of autocross, we sent Roger Thames to Sunday's venue at Cramlington, Northumberland, to gain some first-hand experience of it.
There's one thing that's fairly certain about any motorsport. No matter how it starts off, it always develops into a highly skilled, relatively sophisticated form of competition. Autocross is really no exception. Yet its enthusiastic band of followers still believe that with rallying well beyond most people's pocket, Autocross still gives Joe Public his best chance of being involved in motorsport. Mind you, any successful driver will also tell you it's not exactly sport on the cheap, whatever type of car you drive. Don, this is a fairly amazing looking machine by anyone's standards. What did it actually start out as?
Started off as a mini saloon up until September last year, and then it was rolled very heavily. And there was a championship round the following week, and something that had to be done in a hurry, and this is what it turned out like. I think if you go sensibly about it and your car's prepared for a bang in the first place, then no real harm can come to you.
But it's not exactly a cheap pastime though.
No, I wouldn't like to say how much money it has cost us, but I feel all the money's worthwhile, put it that way.
The Journal Championship began in 1975 with a total of 30 entries. Now it's grown to a 15-round series with 100 drivers battling it out in a total of 6 different classes. These range from 850cc's to more than 2.5 litres, and there are also 2 special classes for on-the-road cars. And basically it's a race against the clock, and the fact that drivers manage up to 80 miles an hour on the right track is an accurate measure of how much autocross has progressed.
Well, I think every class has developed an awful lot. You know, especially the minis. At one time you used to go with a very conventional mini, but now, as I say, you're getting very sophisticated, and you know, you get a lot of rally cars coming in as well, 2-litre BDAs and things like that. But there's still a chance for everybody to get somewhere in autocross, and I think it can progress a lot more. Certainly, you know. As I say, hopefully next year we'll get a lot more newcomers into the sport, and now that rallying's becoming so expensive, you get a lot of rally boys that will be coming into autocrossing rather than competing in the forests.
Fred, when an experienced rally driver like yourself comes along to take part in autocross, how do you feel about it? How difficult do you find it?
Well, I think anyone can come from another branch of sport to autocross and do very well, but it's the actual couple of tenths of a second that's required to win that's difficult. Mastering the art of competing against anybody on a very slippy surface and on tight corners, you tend to get outdone if you're not careful.
Where do you pick up those extra tenths of seconds then?
I think in position on the corners, early braking, getting very, very close to the apex of the corner and driving the car as smooth as possible at all times.
How difficult would you say it is to master that then?
I think it's quite difficult to actually master it. You need a lot of experience, because the natural tendency is to let the car float about because that makes you feel good. It makes you feel like hitting a 6 in cricket, whereas sometimes you require a defensive stroke.
And so what about for somebody who's never had a go before? How difficult are they going to find it then to try doing it?
I think they'll find it difficult to maintain the concentration during the course of a meeting. They'll probably start off very well because they'll start off carefully, but as the day goes on they'll probably find they're in the markers, or they're going wide, or they have a spin or something like that. But it's not the sort of sport where you can start and be overshadowed on the first day. You can start progressively and work through, and after a season and a half be competitive.
Well, I've never been an over-ambitious sort of chap. I don't want to compete, just get a feel of the sport. So with Fred as my tutor, it's off we jolly well go and eat your heart out, Alan Jones. You know I failed my driving test first time, don't you? I was 17 at the time, so that's some excuse.
Now, turn in, just feather the throttle, that's it, straighten up, 100 yards mud hole, caution. Short straight, get the power on you get, full throttle, got it. Bloody hell.
Spectators who are going along to Sunday's meeting will be delighted.